Yo, YouTube, what's up with your boy? Sports and Fitness Rants. I'm back, guys. Click that like button. Subscribe to my channel. What's up, y'all? Welcome back, guys. Welcome back, man. Got another great video for you guys today, as usual, man. You guys know the deal on this channel. It's all about setting the record straight, stopping the lies, stopping the narratives, stopping them from rewriting history, guys. And in this video, man, I want to talk about something I saw on Too Raw's channel the other day, Too Raw for TV. Shout out to Too Raw for TV, man. The legend Too Raw for TV, man. Like I said, man, he always does great work over there, man. The dude knows his stuff. Like I said, man, you guys know that I've been a huge fan of Too Raw for a minute. But shout out to him. I saw this video that he did yesterday about Michael Irvin, about Michael Irvin. And I had to look into it. And, man, it's very interesting to me. Because Michael Irvin, I guess, went off, man. He went off, man. And I saw, like I said, Too Raw's video, and he played like a 1-minute clip of Michael Irvin going off on some podcast or something. Whoever the dude is irrelevant for the purpose of the video. But I thought that it was an interesting video because Michael Irvin, we all know, is a fiery dude. I love Michael Irvin, his demeanor, his personality when he played the game. I got mad respect for Michael Irvin, the playmaker. So shout out to him. But yeah, he was going off in the video. So I wanted to know what he was saying or why he was going off. And then, I listened to Too Raw's video, and he was talking about how, I guess this podcaster was trying to disrespect him and Jerry Rice and some of the other receivers that played in the NFL back when Deion Sanders was playing, right? And they were talking about the guys or the caliber of players that Deion Sanders had to cover. And I don't know if they were really trying to knock Deion Sanders or knock the guys he was covering or knock everybody and say, like, Deion ain't that great, or, he was talking about the speed of these guys, and he was talking about the athleticism of the guys today and, things of that nature, right? Things of that nature, right, guys? So we're going to talk about this video because I thought it was interesting when Michael Irvin was saying, like I said, basically telling this dude, like, yo, who are you? And you don't know what you're talking about. And basically, and it's the facts. These guys don't know the history of the game. They don't know these dudes. So I wanted to take time in this video to shout out some of the receivers from back in Michael Irvin's time, some of the guys that Deion Sanders had to cover. And I want to mention some of the, guys, from back in the day, man, some of the cornerbacks, some of the secondary guys. And talk about this thing of speed or lack of speed or athleticism, man. Talk about this real quick, man. And I want to thank you guys, everyone across the world, everyone across the states, man, that's been supporting my channel. Once again, you guys know I am truly humbled, man. Much respect to all you guys out there, man. Like I said, shout out to everybody on the membership. And you guys know what to do, man. Turn the volume all the way up. Hit that play button. Remember, these videos are for educational purposes. And let's roll. So, yes, guys. Like I said, man, shout out to Too Raw for TV. And the video he did about Michael Irvin and Michael Irvin going off. And Michael Irvin setting the record straight, on this fool. Because that's what we get a lot now, all right? I told you, man, everyone's got a platform now, man. I get it. I got a platform, right? There are a lot of people out there that think I'm just talking crazy. A lot of people think that I'm a fool. But like I said, you guys know the facts, man. Like I said, the true fans out there know. And I'm not just talking about basketball. We're talking about football right now. The true fans of sports. I told you, man, I'm a fan of sports. It ain't just about basketball. It ain't just about football or baseball or tennis or hockey or golf or any of this stuff, man. I'm a fan of sports, man, of athletics, of competition, competing out there in sports, man. I love it. All right? You guys see how I feel about this stuff, the passion I have when I talk about these things, man. This is the facts here. All right? A lot of these clowns out here got a platform, man. They talk nonsense. They ain't giving you the facts. They talking reckless, and you can tell when you listen to them talk. They wasn't here back in the day for that. They wasn't there for it, man. They talking crazy about something they know nothing about. They don't know the facts. They don't. I thought I would take some time in this video to talk about some of the guys, like I said, from back in the day, man, and put some respect on Michael Irvin and the guys that played in his era in the NFL, Deion Sanders, and, this clown trying to act like the guys Deion Sanders was going against back in the 90s was weak. These guys wasn't fast, or these guys wasn't great wide receivers, or just because you're not, quote unquote, fast, right, in a straight line speed, that means that, you're not a great wide receiver, or you're not a great athlete. I don't know what this guy was trying to say. He was saying a bunch of nonsense. Like I said, and apparently they flashed a picture of Jerry Rice and Michael Irvin during this clip, right, when this guy was talking crazy about the lack of caliber of players that Deion Sanders was covering or wasn't covering. They flashed a picture, of Jerry Rice and Michael Irvin. And like I said, the funny thing about that is we all know, everyone knows, right, that Jerry Rice and Michael Irvin were not known for their quote-unquote speed or for them being in a straight line fast. Like, all these are the burners out here. These guys are the speedsters in the NFL in the 90s. That's not what it was about for Jerry Rice. I can't even believe that we're even talking about this, and they mentioned Jerry Rice. Like, that's insane. Jerry Rice is the gold standard. He's the gold standard of receivers. And you have fools out here trying to knock him because Deion Sanders was covering guys that weren't fast. And like I said, Michael Irvin, once again, the playmaker. Michael Irvin's in the Hall of Fame for a reason. Michael Irvin's a winner, man. This dude won in college. This dude won in the NFL. All right? So I don't get, like, when you show Michael Irvin and Jerry Rice, those guys are elite. They're one of the greatest, the greatest wide receivers of all time. In the case of Jerry Rice, he is the greatest wide receiver of all time. It's not even close, man. It's not close. It is Jerry Rice, man. All right? And when we talk about speed, let's think about this for a second. Talking about speed. And we're talking about, Deion Sanders wasn't covering fast guys compared to the guys today. The guys are so fast today. Why can the guys be or seem to be faster than the guys back in the day may have seemed? And I don't agree with that statement, but let's just say that these guys look fast, let's say. Why would that be? Why does the game look like it might be faster? Because they made the game look this way, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, when Jerry Rice played the game, when Michael Irvin played the game, you could literally get hurt on every single play. It was a dangerous sport. Not to say that football is not still dangerous. But there's levels, guys. Levels. The odds of you getting hurt back in them days was a lot greater. We all understand the game has changed. They've made it that way. They've made it safer. They've made the game safer. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But when they make the game safer, you have to come to terms with that reality. When people want to try to talk about some of these wide receivers back in the day, some of these quarterbacks that are quarterback back in them days, it's a different beast. All right, you could get killed out there, man, because guys back in them day could do it. Now they can't. It might happen. They might get a penalty. Things happen every there, right? It's professional football. But back in them days, they could do it. There was no penalties. It's like when we tell you back in the day for the NBA, guys could clothesline you, doors crazy stuff. It's a regular foul. You weren't going to get ejected. There was no fine like, this guy's crazy. Nah, man, you got knocked out of the game, and it's a regular foul. So back in the day, you'd be out for the game, and there's no penalties there for targeting. Or, hey, you let it with your helmet, with crown of your head. Man, I played football back in the day, man. Anyone that played football back in the day knows. It was different. Like I said, I didn't play in the NFL. I never even once claimed to even be anything like that. But those guys didn't just grow up and just go right to the NFL. They weren't just born and go right to the NFL. They had to play in the same levels that we all grew up playing in. They had to play the Pop Warner leagues. They had to play in junior high, high school. Right? They had to go to college and do this stuff. There were steps for these people, just like for a lot of us. Man, I remember playing Pop Warner. I remember playing in high school football, man. I remember going through the triple sessions. I remember playing offense and defense in a game. Never coming off the field, playing special teams. All of this stuff in high school. Right? Because that's what you did back in the home. Iron Man football. Right? We talked about this before. That's how a lot of us grew up playing the game. That's how a lot of these guys grew up playing the game. So once again, we understand this kind of stuff. The game was different, man. Like I said, there were no penalties for this. And like I said, the receivers could get manhandled by defensive players. And for them to talk about speed, okay? You're telling me Jerry Rice wasn't fast? See, we talk about speed. They talk about straight line speed. Who gives a damn about straight line speed? Straight line speed in the 90s NFL doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter because guys are going to be on the line. They could put their hands on you, man. 5 yards. They could rough you up off the line, jam you up, do all kinds of stuff to off the line. Your speed means nothing at that point. You got to have skills off the line. You have to be quick. Speed is not, it's one thing. Quickness is another. And once again, your quickness and speed out of your breaks. You're telling me Jerry Rice wasn't fast coming out of his breaks? Jerry Rice didn't have elite footwork? Jerry Rice didn't have elite route running? Come on, guys. What are we doing here? It's Jerry freaking Rice, man. We shouldn't even be questioning this stuff. I don't want to hear about Jerry Rice's lack of speed compared to Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson or some of the wide receivers that we see in the league today, man. A.J. Brown or what's the other dude? Tyreek Hill. I mean, Devontae Adams and DK Metcalf. What's the other guy? Debo Samuel. All these, they're not as fast as those guys. What was the other dude's name? Watson, right? Watson, no, Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson, the quarterback, man. Bernard Hopkins. Right? No, Deshaun Hopkins, right? I got boxes out here. I got them all over the place, man. But you guys know, man, they try to tell you that these guys ain't fast or athletic. These guys, like all of a sudden, athletes just evolved in the last 5 years. Oh, man, these guys over the last 5 years, there's a whole nother human evolution. What the hell are we talking about? These guys weren't doing what Jerry Rice was doing. No one's going to snip what Jerry Rice and these other receivers were doing. Like I said, I want to mention and shout out some of these wide receivers, man. Michael Irvin is on the money with this stuff, man. The nerve of these guys to come out here and talk and run their mouth about speed. Who the hell was Deion Sanders covering like that? He wasn't covering these dudes. You gotta lace them up every week in the NFL out here at the wide receiver position. What the hell you think was going on out there in the 90s? And like I said, you had to be tough back then. Jerry Rice is tough as nails. Jerry Rice is gritty as hell. Michael Irvin tough as nails. You crazy, man. You guys are crazy talking about these dudes. I'm gonna read off some names, man, of some of these guys that these guys had to go against on the defense and the secondary. And I'm just gonna mention a couple guys. I saw this video the other day, and I jotted these names off the top of my head. I said, yo, I gotta write some names down real quick, man. Just like I did with the baseball thing the other day with the Dow Strawberry Barry Bonds thing. It was the same scenario. I was like, yo, I'm gonna write some names down. So some of these secondary guys real quick. Because I don't know what the hell's going on. Because these dudes are fast. They were fast wide receivers. They were fast secondary guys that these guys, I just don't know about. Like they're trying to act like the guys in the 90s NFL was slow. Come on, man. Like, I don't get it. Like I said, you're going to sit there and try to tell me that Michael Irvin, in and out of his breaks, Michael Irvin route running, Jerry Rice route running, they're coming out of their breaks. That's not fast. That's not elite. Like, these guys are coming out of these breaks, man. They're running these routes. These routes are crisp, man. And like I said, they're physical. They're running through you. I mean, my goodness, man. They're going through physicality. And when they're getting ready to catch the football, there are no referees and flags to protect them. There are no rules in place to protect Michael Irvin for going over the middle and getting his clock clean. And that's what we talked about. These guys ain't got to deal with that stuff today, man. They're still always frail. These guys are still always banged up and dealing with stuff, man. I want you guys to understand, man. When you talk about someone like Ronnie Lott, when I say the name Ronnie Lott, what do you think about when you hear Ronnie Lott? You think about pain. That's what I think about. I don't know about y'all. I think about pain, man. I think about fear. I think about hit squad. That's what I think about. I think about laying pads out on people. Ronnie Lott, the gold standard of the safety position, man. Out there talking about laying hits on people. Ronnie Lott. Ronnie Lott. I'm going to say it again. Ronnie Lott. That's who Jerry Rice was going against, man. All right? I mean, that's who Jerry Rice was. That's who Michael Irvin was going against. He's going against guys like Ronnie Lott. Guys like Ronnie Lott out there to clean you up, man. You're talking about Michael Irvin. Throw a picture of Michael Irvin up there like he ain't nobody, man. Like I said, Michael Irvin went off because Michael Irvin knows, man. These guys don't know. You don't know about the NFL in the 90s. Ronnie Lott will lay you out, man. All these wide receivers. I don't give a damn who they were. You get laid out. It don't matter if it was Desmond Howard or any of these dudes, man. Al Toon. You get your clock cleaned out there with Ronnie Lott out there, man. Like I said, when I say the name Ronnie Lott, man, you talk about gold standard. I just mentioned how Jerry Rice, the gold standard of wide receivers. And I talk about Ronnie Lott, the gold standard at that safety position, man. That's the facts. And why was that so? Because this dude was dangerous. Talk about fear. I tell you, fear. Fear. Hurt, pain. Ronnie Lott. That's what you're thinking about, right? You think about someone like Steve Atwater. Steve Atwater. Think about the names I'm saying, man. Atwater. You hear Atwater, you hear pain. That's fear. Denver Broncos. Number 27, Steve Atwater will come out there and break you in half. That's who Michael Irvin was going against. That's who Jerry Rice going against. He going against like someone like Steve Atwater. You got to worry about that dude laying you out. And these guys are going out there catching them passes. That's what Michael Irvin's talking about. Talk to me about speed. Yeah, you fast, so Steve Atwater put them pads on you. Right? You ain't protected out there from Steve Atwater back in them days. Steve Atwater could reach out and touch you. And that's what that man did. Steve Atwater, I remember one of my best friends in high school, man. He played safety on the football team. He played wide receiver and safety, my friend, man. Shout out to my boy Farron, man. Yo, I remember he came to school one day with the Steve Atwater jersey on, man. And I was like, yo, man, his jersey's fresh. He was like, Steve Atwater, son. Like, and that's how he liked to play the game, like Steve Atwater. Just come out there, like I said, and lay people out. And this is all legal stuff. That's who Jerry Rice going against. That's who the receivers is going against. They going against the Steve Atwaters, the Ronnie Lotts. You guys remember John Lynch? John Lynch, man. That dude will lay you out. Played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for like damn near forever. Forever. John Lynch. You guys know John Lynch. Now I think he works for the San Francisco Niners now. I think he's like I don't know if he's the general manager of that team, whatever, but John Lynch, man. John Lynch would lay pads on you. You guys remember that Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense of the early 2000s, right? With Rondé Barber and Hardy Nickerson and Derrick Brooks. You had John Lynch in the back in the secondary laying dudes out, man. Warren Sapp was on that defense, man. Them dudes with styles, one of the great defense of all time, man. John Lynch laying dudes out there, man. Come on, man. That's who Michael Irvin's going against, man. going against legit secondary guys. These are all-time greats. These aren't just guys that hit hard. These are all-time legends. I told you, Ryan Lance, the gold standard. All these receivers back in them days, man. Talk about Deion Sanders wasn't covering nobody, man. I mean, think about some of these guys, man. I wrote down some of these guys' names here, man. Like I said, you think about Jerry Rice, right? You think about Michael Irvin. You think about Chris Carter, right? Chris Carter. These are the best receivers that I remember when I was growing up, man. Tim Brown. Tim Brown, man, come on, man. Chris Carter, like, anytime I saw Chris Carter, man, like I said, this is a football players, man. I ain't talking about none of these guys personally. I don't know what these guys do. Ain't none matter. I'm talking about what I saw Chris Carter do in the field. This dude was sensational. That dude never dropped passes. I don't think that dude never dropped ball. He never dropped ball. Chris Carter was the man. His signature was tiptoeing the sideline. You guys know Chris Carter would reach that over the out of bounds, tiptoe the sideline. That's Chris Carter's signature, baby. Signature Chris Carter stuff right there. The hands, man. Come on, man. I mean, think of the names I'm talking about. Jerry Rice, man. Michael Irvin, the playmaker. These guys are tough as nails. Tim Brown. That dude never missed a game. That dude was always there. When I talk about turning the TV on and knowing someone's gonna be there, Tim Brown, you know gonna be there, man. You turn them Raiders on back in the 90s. Tim Brown gonna be on the field, man, with the helmet strapped up. That's Tim Brown, man. You talk about carrying yourself like a true professional. Go watch Tim Brown play a career out. Go ask about Tim Brown. Do some research on Tim Brown. All right, from the Raiders, from the 90s, man. That man played forever. That's class personified. That's how you carry yourself with integrity. That's how you be a true professional, and you show up to work, and you go out there and you make plays, and you make it happen. Tim Brown was sensational. Did some returning in his career also. Was a great return man, Tim Brown. Shout out Tim Brown. Like I said, I mentioned Andre Reed. Are you kidding me? And Andre Reed, it took forever for that man to get in the Hall of Fame. They were making that man wait around forever. Andre Reed should have been in the Hall of Fame way before he got in. So shout out to Andre Reed, man, for the Buffalo Bills all the years. Them great Buffalo Bills teams, man. Who you think Jim Kelly throwing to? You throwing Andre freaking Reed, man. Andre Reed always getting open. Andre always catching the ball. Andre always getting a first down. Andre Reed, Thurman Thomas, man, that team was stout. Stout, legit, man. And their defense was a stout. Bruce Smith, Cornelius Bennett. Are you kidding me, man? Stop it right now. These dudes was out there. These are athletes. Those are not athletes, the guys I'm talking about? You're telling me those are not athletes? Tim Brown, Andre Reed's not an athlete? I don't want to hear about their speed. These guys are precise route runners. These guys have hands. They're catching the ball. Your receiver's supposed to catch the damn ball. Just to get open, right? I don't worry about speed. These guys are coming in and out of breaks. They running the routes. They got dudes head faking, man. And they're going against some of the elite secondary guys in the history of the game. I just went off some of these secondary guys. I didn't even mention some like Brian Dawkins, who will go out there and what's his name? The dude from the Pittsburgh Steelers, Carnell Lake, all them years. Come on, man. These guys are all-time greats. All-time greats. That's what we're talking about. For stout defenses. Talking out here, these guys, Deion Sanders, who's Deion Sanders going against? He's going against some of the greatest receivers of all time. They ain't dropping passes. These dudes now today, they fast and drop balls left and right. How many balls you see Odell Beckham Jr. drop? I say, I'm not knocking these dudes, but damn, man, these people out here on these podcasts, they talk crazy about these wide receivers, about some of these athletes from back in these 80s, 90s. Like I said, like the athletes evolved to something crazy over the last 5 or 10 years. Like, stop, man. Jerry Rice was an amazing athlete. Go look at his routines. Go look at his off-season training regimen. My God, these guys, like I said, they're tough as nails. Nails. Now I'm going to highlight that in a second. What about Sterling Sharp? You guys remember Sterling Sharp? Sterling Sharp, who's a Hall of Famer, should have been a Hall of Famer. First ballot, because Sterling Sharp had that, career-ending neck injury. The brother of Shannon Sharp, who was way better than his brother, and Shannon Sharp was a really great player, but Sterling Sharp was way better than him. And he'll tell you. And Sterling Sharp was right there, man, with Jerry Rice, man, when he was in the league, man. He was up there, all pro, man. Him and Jerry Rice, they were the best receivers in the league, man, for several years. And I believe Sterling Sharp played like 6 or 7 seasons. And he played all 16 games every single season, Sterling Sharp. And I believe it was the last game of his career where we had the injury, man. Never came back after the neck surgery. Done with the spine. He was done. But what about Sterling Sharp? You want to tell me Sterling Sharp ain't great? Oh, who's Deion Sanders covering? Sterling Sharp. That's who he was going against. Guys like Sterling Sharp. What about Andre Rison? Remember Andre Rison? Come on, man. These guys were great players, man. Talking about Michael Irvin and Jerry Rice and some of these guys, like, they weren't great, man. Like, I don't understand it. Those are great wide receivers. Like I mentioned earlier, Al Toon. I remember Al Toon and the Jets, man. Al Toon was a speedster. Al Toon used to be diving out for the passes. That was a patented Al Toon. He'd be outstretched, man, from them balls, man, with Ken O'Brien. Come on, man. I remember my uncle was a huge Jets fan growing up, man. He still is a huge Jets fan. He's always talk about these guys, man. Altoon, man. What about Herman Moore? That was probably Barry Sanders' best teammate for them years there, man. Herman Moore, man, is all-pro wide receiver, man. Dude was like 6'4", right? Herman Moore had them hands look like Brian McKnight. You guys know Herman Moore with them ears. Herman Moore was, man, the dude was sensational, Herman Moore. What about Herman Moore? Nah, these guys are nobodies out there. There's no one. Carl Pickens, another guy. Art Monk. What about Art Monk? Art Monk is not good. Art Monk's one of the all-time greats, man. These guys are not great. And like I said, they talk about these guys like they weren't great athletes. Or the speed, your one direction straight speed is all that matters. When you talk about a 40-yard dash, that's great. Yes, 40-yard dash speed is great, man. Absolutely. These guys were not slow. These guys were not, like I said, the fastest of all time. They weren't 4.2s or 4.3s, but they're running 4.5s, 4.4s. That's lightning fast, man. Come on, are you kidding me? I ran a 4.42 in high school, guys. I was telling them a 4.42 in high school. Dude, I'm telling you guys that's fast, man. I'm telling you that's fast. Everyone told me that was fast. That's fast, guys. These guys, like, if you don't run a 4.3 or 4.2, no, that's elite speed. That's world-class speed, those guys. You don't need world-class speed to be world-class great or to be the greatest of all time at the wide receiver position. This is not track and field. I don't get guys, and those guys are athletes. And let me tell you how great these guys were, how tough these guys were. I wrote this down, guys, just to make sure I had these guys accurate, because like I said, they put some respect on these guys' names. The best wide receivers I remember, guys. Jerry Rice, when I was growing up, I said the 80s, the late 80s into the 90s, these are the best guys I thought of, the names. Jerry Rice, obviously, right? Jerry Rice played 18 seasons, guys, all right? This man played he played 18 seasons of 16 games. All right, now we all know that the NFL's gone to a 17-game season, but the reason why they went to a 17-game season, the reason why they can go to a 17-game season is because of the softness of the rules and the way the game has changed. So it allows these guys to, once again, play a 17-game season. That's what they do. So that's what it's about, the 17-game season. So this is what it's about for me. It's a 17-game season, guys, right? They can do that. It was the softness of the rules, all of this stuff, man, right? So that allows them to play the extra game. They can't play an extra game back in the 90s, 80s rules with these guys allowed to take that kind of punishment and those kinds of beatings over and over and over and over again. They wouldn't be allowed to do this kinds of stuff. That's the facts, guys. That's the reality. But Jerry Rice went out there for 18 seasons of 16 games, guys. Chris Carter, 13 seasons of 16 games. Shout out to Chris Carter. Tim Brown, 14 seasons of 16 games. Tim Brown. All right. Andre Reed, 8 seasons of 16 games. Art Monk, 11 seasons of 16 games. Sterling Sharp, like I mentioned before, guys, all 7 seasons he played 16 games in all of those seasons, guys. These guys playing the max games, giving the max effort and getting beat down like that over and over and over again. Talking about Deion Sanders ain't covering guys. Like these guys weren't good and they weren't fast. You tell me Darryl Green wasn't fast? Darryl Green, one of the fastest NFL players in NFL's history, man. He was out there covering dudes, out there doing his thing. Darryl Green, one of the all-time greats. What about Aeneas Williams? Remember Aeneas Williams? Lockdown, all-time great corner. Rod Woodson, lockdown, all-time great corner. These guys are athletes, man. You kidding me? It's not just Deion Sanders, man. Or Eric Allen. I mean, come on, man. These are some of the greatest cornerbacks and cover guys in the history of the game. And these guys are athletes. These guys are fast, man. Don't believe the hype of some of these clowns out here. You know, make sure you do your research, guys. You do your own homework. Don't listen to these clowns. And that's what Michael Irvin's talking about, man. Keep my name out your mouth, he said, because he knows the deal, man. Those guys went out there and earned it, man. You guys know the deal, man. I'll catch you guys on the next one.